but we've got our 20 mixed emotions, hold the heavy. I'm sure you got it now. We've got our cruelties. Welcome back to the channel. All right. What you're looking at right now is me pulling Mantis, and I was so excited, I immediately took her to rank 2. You've often heard me talk about, she's like a missing piece from my Battlegrounds deck. Here's the thing, she's also phenomenal in questing, in particular, some of the toughest defenders in the game, and I'm going to show that to you, including a war boss, Photon, and how naturally Mantis handles that. Now, she is a bad girl. I'm not kidding on the thumbnail and the title. I took her directly to rank 2, and I'm going to show you some Battlegrounds fights and show you how absolutely phenomenal this champion is. All right, we're going to get into these fights now, and some of them she's going to be awakened, some of them she's not. Ultimately, for this video, it's not going to make a difference. That's one of the beauties of Mantis, is you don't really need her awakened. It'll allow her to do some additional things, and we'll talk about in these fights. But we're going to start off here with the Sugar Pill, Prey on the Weak against a Bishop. So we're going to have class disadvantage, and also this node's going to have that staggering beauty, right? Which is going to make it so we don't get our cruelties, meaning our damage is actually lower in this fight than it would be without. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, we're gonna talk a little bit about how to play her while we're going through the fights, but I really just wanna show off a few things for you, some kind of like hidden utility. In this one in particular, it's about how she can quickly get to her ramp. We're only gonna have to deal with one of Bishop's specials. You can see we have the Intimidate on, we're hitting into the block, which is letting us get those mixed emotion passes. That's what the green, kind of like different theatrical faces or masks looks like. We evade some of that special, but now we're gonna go in, we've got our Intimidate up, which also, Infuriate, which also allows us to get up our mixed emotions, throw the Striker, go into our Heavy Hold, which will allow us to get up all of our Furies. Then let go of that, go straight into the special 2, and you can see all those staggers on us. We didn't get the cruelties. That damage would actually have been higher, but with class disadvantage, without the cruelties, can still handle, and that was a 7-star Bishop, still done, dusted, 39 seconds with a score of 50,545. I dex that special 2 better. She comes out of this with even more health. That's class disadvantage, one of the toughest defenders in the game. This is the kind of thing that I love about her, is the versatility of defenders you're going to see her taking. Now, I didn't pause it in time. We're gonna go in here and take on this Omega Sentinel. Kind of a difficult defender if you don't have like the right matchup for her. And you're gonna see, because of the need to land consecutive hits, what I really should have done there with the Intimidate is I should have done heavy, then into the medium, heavy, medium, heavy, medium. Didn't do it, live and learn. Fortunately, we're gonna live from this. So we're gonna trigger the auto block here in a second. We've got the neutralize passive up, which is great. I'll talk a little bit more about the neutralize when we get to the Photon fight. Right there, I'm actually not sure why we didn't get the Infuriate, but that's fine. We'll be okay. All right, so now we're gonna go in. Just wanna get to my special 2. I'm gonna hold the block. You can hold the block really as long as you want, I believe, or as long as the sleep passive is up, and that's why you're getting those mixed emotions. It lengthens how long you can hold the heavy there. And then while you're holding the heavy, you get all those really nice passive furies. Like you just saw, we got 10 of them. Go into our special 2, or into our heavy, let the first hit go. Throw in the special 2, which then is guaranteed critical hits, which is why we're doing so much damage, even without those cruelties. With the cruelties, you're going to do even more. Now, I'm showing you this one for a couple of reasons. One is I want you to see that she can take Hulkling. It's just about lining up your special 2 with when he's not going to be indestructible, which you're going to see us do. The other was right there. That's what I want to see, right? I always try to show you a realistic, what you can expect out of her. Now, her light reach is very bad. Her light reach is very bad. And for the most time, when you're doing intercepts, you want to be safe, you're doing a backdraft with a light into a light so you can block should the defender not follow you in. Her reach is so bad that often with a lot of defenders, they will hit you even if your timing is good. It's just the way it works. It's the mechanics of the game, the visuals. But her medium is strong. It is really strong. You're going to see me land a lot of intercepts with it in these fights. I think it more than makes up for it. And I also think it makes her like, kind of makes sense. If intercepting with her was as easy as like Hercules or something like that, she'd be ridiculous. She'd be the best attacker in the game, no doubt, hands down. It would be a simple thing. There is a skill ask out of her to get the results. And I think that's really, really fair. And that kind of even goes with her and the way she's made. All right, now we're going to see another attacker. So we've seen class disadvantage. We've seen Hulkling. We've seen kind of an unusual one with the Mega Sentinel. Now we're going in up against this Gore. And you can continue to see that Tranquilize, which again, I said we'll talk about against Photon. But if she was awakened at a high enough SIG, she actually gets up to, I think, like a 50% Tranquilize against non-science champions, which isn't enough to fully rely on it, but it will help keep debuffs off of you 50% of the time if you can attack slow enough. There was a good example of how great her medium is. If you saw it, it really looked like I actually did a bad job there, but her medium's so good it overwhelmed Gore basically as far as the visuals are concerned to the hitboxes. So here we go. We're going to go in and we need to just get to our special 2. We've got those mixed emotions at 20, which is the most you can get to. Use our striker, which is fantastic for helping get to your special 2. I just did a little more damage. I didn't really need to, as you can see. He's healing, right? This is a healing champion who's known for how much they can heal. Does not matter. 200,000 special 2. He's dead. He's absolutely dead. And that's another piece of her utility that I think is really important to talk about is she can get around these like large heal back mechanics, right? Like your Iron Doom, your infamous, your Iron Mans and things like that. She can get around it because she does so much of that burst damage. I don't know if Mantis is gonna be any good for Quicksilver. Part of me's seen reasons why she might be and why she might also very much not be. Wait, yeah. Why did I get that intercept? That surprised me. I was not expecting that. What am I missing?
Oh, I'm not live anymore.
The very first intercept, I actually connected. He didn't evade it.
Because the node works properly now, and you got the guaranteed crits before he could evade.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a fun node for that.
To be honest, I was not expecting that. I was fully expecting him, like I was prepared to not have that go well, to not have a good time. You know, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this because you're on. In fact, you being on is partially making me not want to say it, but I am streaming, so please, this is not a DLL, please fix, okay? You get enough of that in your life. Is having the mixed emotion passives and the sleepy thing timer move as the amount of debuffs switched was really not fun while trying to time it all. Like it went from the second bar to the top, and at some point I just gave up trying to pay attention to it. Whatever, again, like that is not meant for you. You just happen to be on call. Okay, so you kind of saw her taking on Quicksilver there. It's a nice showcase. Now we're moving on to this fight against this Photon boss, about 700,000 health. I talked to some of the guys in tier 1 and they're like, it wouldn't matter. The extra health from the tier 1 would not have mattered. This boss is done, right? This is a 7-star. Here we go. Now, if this Photon had been awakened, okay, hitting into her block would have a chance to put a debuff on us, right? And then so therefore Photon would get ramped and those sorts of things. This is another small skill ask out of Mantis is when she's not moving, she's not doing anything, you're getting that Tranquilize passive and you're like, well, you're attacking. How are you getting it? Well, it's just a slow. You just slow down your combos barely, just barely. Not enough for the AI to register that there's an opening and attack you. You're not leaving yourself open. You just slow it down. You can see when we don't do anything, we've got that Tranquilize passive on Photon. Look, a debuff got through because we weren't going slow enough, but we've got our 20 mixed emotions, hold the heavy. I'm sure you got it now. We've got our cruelties, which we didn't have in those other fights. So you can see how much bigger the damage is. I'm not running a special boost. I'm not running a power back boost or anything like that. You can see how well this is going. And, you know, if I wanted to speed this fight up a little bit more, you could do the power back boost. We would get a lot back. The thing I was thinking through though is then, will that make it difficult to make sure I can get my mixed emotion passives in before I get to a special 3? Because I don't really want to be throwing that. So this really worked out well. I've got Photon's special evade, and Photon can't get ramped. You see, she's still at only 8 of her charges. So we were in absolutely no danger. We hold the heavy before the special 2 because the heavy's going to give us a little bit of power, and we have more than enough damage to absolutely destroy Photon, who's one of the newest, toughest defenders in the game. Mantis is a phenomenal counter. You know, when she first came into the game, I put out the video. I was very excited about her, and I took her up because I really enjoyed playing her. She's actually not really my kind of champion. She's very like min-max or whatever you want to call it. Like, she's very super focused on her one thing, and there's not a lot of safety involved, that resiliency that I really like. But she's so well made, her animations are so good, and that payoff moment feels great. And in matchups where you want to be a little safer, like this one against Photon, you can play a little bit safer. In Battlegrounds, you can be a little bit more aggressively with those intercepts and things like that. And then the buff that they gave her, I think was really nice. I think it allowed people to play her a little more basically. If you really want to concentrate on playing her a little more safely, you can do the hit into the block with the Intimidate up, and you get those two mixed emotion passives, and then you can get to your special 2 and get that off just a little bit more safely, but you're also going to cost yourself time. And then if you want to play her more aggressively, more high skill, you can work in the Intimidates or the Infuriates, do the intercepts, and ramp up quickly that way too. I love her. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you learned today. And also let me know if you think like, hey, here's another tip or here's something else. Share that knowledge with everyone else. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it out if you thought this was awesome. Mantis, she is a bad girl. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.